Sorry, my Windows noise, not yours. Hello! Windows is like, what are you doing? And why are you doing it? Sorry, folks, bear with me 1 second. I'm just making the finishing touches to this schematic I need to import into the Empire's world today. And then I'll be right with you. Hope everyone's having a good one. Welcome in. Hope you're all alright. Just gonna quickly save this. Save that. Box tower left. And we're going to save the gatehouse as well. And we're going to get into it. We're going to do a little bit more building on the castle, as you might expect. I've been doing a little bit more work on this today. And it's going very well so far. I just need to import some of this stuff so that we can actually build it on the server. Did I get jump scared by the UK phone alert? Absolutely I did. And I figured the first thing that happened in the stream was that somebody was going to ask me about that. But yes, my phone is on the desk next to me. It's like down here. So, yeah, I was setting up for the stream. I was like, this is going to be happening. I need to make sure that I don't go live and then have it happen because it was really loud. And then I forgot about it whilst I was just tinkering with this last little set of stuff I'm doing in Minecraft. And then it just went off. And yes, I was jump scared by it. Because the UK government has decided that we all need to have a heart attack in our own homes. Obviously, it's very important that it exists, but still, it was a bit of a shock. Gatehouse, save schematic, castle, gatehouse, additions. Okay, now we can hop in. I kind of don't want to show you folks this beforehand, which is why I'm doing all of this, like with the intermission screen. Trisha, Nikki, and Mavis, thank you so much for the gift sub and the resubs. Very kind of you. My phone was powered off, the alarm still went off. Yeah, that's kind of the idea behind them, I believe. Right, let's hop on in, and I will show you what we're up to. Darwin, thank you for the 100 bits. Oh, I'm at the Olapelago. Okay, I should probably avoid looking at anything here, because Ollie has been building some stuff that I've been helping with. But I don't know if he's shown any of it off on streams or anything, so I don't want to show anything that I shouldn't be. Turned it off. Your daughter and I are both autistic and noise sensitive. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, there are obviously legitimate reasons for turning it off. There are definitely some people who have like emergency phones in case of like home invasions and stuff like that, and you don't want those to be like going off potentially. I don't know. There's all kinds of reasons to have stuff like that, but yeah, the service exists, so that is the way. Let's hide those. Don't know if there's going to be anybody else online today. Definitely not in a video. Well, of course, yeah, it's Ollie. What would we expect, honestly? So today we're back at Castle Grayscale, as it is informally known. And we're going to be doing a bit more building. For which I'm going to perch up on one of these trees. I'm going to sleep, and then we're going to start loading in some very, very cool schematics that I've been working on. was in the library when it went off. I'm in the library. Thought it was a fire alarm for a second. Yeah, I mean, the library, of course, being the worst place for it to go off. But I imagine being around a large group of people when it happened must have been kind of frightening because it's just coming from everywhere all at once. Castle's really shaping up. It is. We're adding some more shapes to it today, in fact. The llamas are certainly keen to get in. So let's go into our schematic placements. Ignore those. Let's load up Castle, Box Tower L, and Gatehouse additions. And now we are completely surrounded by blue. That's fine. Let's hop on out here. And of course, these are all below render mode for now. This is the Gatehouse additions. We need to roll those on in. We'll line that up over here, and we'll keep this below about there so that when we scroll this down, it will start to appear, but you won't get to see the full story quite yet. That needs to go one to the left, or one to the right, rather, and it hooks in there. Oh, I have some scaffolding right there. Interesting. So yeah, I've decided that we're going to work on a kind of stockade sort of thing back here, at least initially. So that can get locked in place. And we're going to be adding in the mechanism by which the gate would be... yeah, I need to not do that. We're going to add in the mechanism by which the gate would be raised and lowered right here. And so I've got like a couple of things, just like a basic sort of pulley winch kind of system, like nothing wild. We have a little gate there, but then the other things outside are also quite important. Is there an in-game way of moving schematics into folders? Yes, if you go to your schematic manager, you can sort by like new directories and stuff there, and then you can... I don't know if you can move them like by dragging them around or anything, but it may be possible to like do something with those. Either way, we can lock that placement because that's in the right place now. Let's go to this one, and this is the left gatehouse, or at least, or not the left gatehouse, the left tower. Which means it should be back here. Oh, and there's zombies in it, of course there are. There. Alright, that's correct now. So we can lock that one as well. And go to this one. Yeah, it's a zombie holding pen is what we've got working with here. And this one should be over here. Drop that into place. There. Yep. Cool. And so all of the blocks that it doesn't recognize right now are ones which we're going to be editing in as we go. Have I started on my tower at spawn? No, I haven't had time. So overall, what we're looking at, material list-wise, we should have a fair amount of the stuff that we need to do this. There's a fair bit of stone that gets involved. And obviously right now I think I need to increase the visible height of all of this so that we can get a more firm idea of what this is going to look like. So it's going to look like that, basically. You can kind of see the two towers on either side. And those are going to be symmetrical because the front of the castle is largely symmetrical. This one's a little taller than that one, but they're the same design because it's just quicker for me to design stuff if I can repeat a couple of things. even though the rest of the castle is like fairly asymmetrically designed, so I'm not sure how much I'll be able to like copy and paste in terms of the designs we're doing. Maybe some of those towers towards the back, maybe some of the walls, but yeah, this is gonna look really good once it's all in place. And then, like I said, we have a few additions to make in the gatehouse, but our material list should now show us. Oh, maybe it does show you the full amount. Cool. Okay. So we can ignore that. If anything, we're going to be taking stone out of this one on the right-hand side because we're just adding texture to the top parts of it. So it's really going to be about making sure that we've got the right amount of resources like mud and tough and things like that. Most of which we should have in here. Will there be any pointy roofs? I mean, that's a pointy roof. Are we talking like castle turrets, like minarets? Potentially. We'll see. But, like I said before, I'm modeling this on Stormveil from Elden Ring, which does not have a great deal of those kind of traditional, like, fairy tale, princess castle, Rapunzel tower, Disney kind of minarets to them. Do you think I can manage to finish it before the season ends? I'm not going to get all of the interior detail done, but it's a ruin, so, like, interior detail doesn't matter as much. We've got a lot of spruce that we can bring. I'll probably bring some fences and stuff as well. I think I need them somewhere. We definitely need barrels, but we'll have to craft those on the fly. We need lots of spruce logs. We need some dark oak as well. Trode, Salient, Snarky Witch, Darwin, thank you all so much for the subs and the bits. So let's dig out the shulkers. I'm going to put all the wood and stuff in here because this just has like a 1 gunpowder in it for the moment. And to really get organized, I won't need the diorite and the gravel and stuff today. We'll need the andesite, so we'll throw that in. Starting a new Minecraft world yesterday. Really want it to be the world where I beat the dragon for the first time, but for that I need motivation. I always lose it around the time I found another fortress. What, if you can really pin it down, what causes that? Like, do you just not feel attached enough to the world? Are you intimidated by the dragon fight? Where does your motivation drop off? Because really finding a nether fortress is kind of the point at which you go, okay, but like going and fighting the dragon is now achievable. At least from my experience. So what's different? We have a couple of light grey dye in here which we can use. You have to fight blazes first? Well, yes, but if you found another fortress, then you can do that. I find trading with piglins is a really great way of getting just straightforward fire resistance potions. If you're having trouble getting hold of those. I always die about that time and lose everything. Ah, well, that's a preparation thing, I suppose. That's where you've really got to, yeah, get your fire resistance potions from the piglins. Make sure you've got gold armor so you don't die to them. You've got to, aim to get a decent set of armor. Get some enchantments. Maybe if you've got an easy place to do a raid, bag yourself a Totem of Undying so you don't have to worry about, like, potentially falling in lava or something. Maybe work with villagers as well so that you can get an easy setup if you happen to die and lose your stuff. Villagers are great for just getting a new set of diamond tools like it's nothing. There we go. We need dark grey dye for this. Okay, right. That's wood. This one is just regular stone. Once again, we can throw this stuff away. I could start texturing using gravel. I just don't like working with gravity blocks if I don't need to, strictly speaking. I play with keep inventory half the time. If you're having issues, keep inventory is a good way to get more used to them. Yeah, that's another good point. Yeah, having the keep inventory game rule on, especially if it's your first time going to do the dragon fight. I mean, you might as well stack the deck in your favor a little bit just so you can build up the confidence. That's not a bad idea. Okay, so we'll make this one light grey to represent that it has a bunch of natural stone and andesite in it. Yes, piglin bartering definitely helps you get fire resistance potions without blaze rods. And if you're able to locate a blaze spawner and just get one blaze rod, then you've got enough to do more potion brewing. Like if you find a village, the villagers will have a brewing stand there. There's a couple of what you might call convenient shortcuts to some of that stuff, I guess. Okay, we're going to transfer some of the darker materials to this darker shulker box. That will hopefully be kind of helpful. We'll put the brown materials in here. I might put some grass and some leaves and stuff in there as well. And we'll colour that box brown later. Let's see. We need deep slate tiles for later. We'll probably put the campfires in here as well. Just trying to get some of this stuff organised before we go into the project, because it's a lot easier to maneuver when you have this stuff organised and figured out. Got plenty of cracked, polished blackstone bricks, which is good. We will need a lot more deep slates a bit later. Can put these away. We'll leave the oak wood in there as utility woods. Do you love a brand new game? Yeah, new Minecraft worlds are always full of potential, which can be a lot of fun. No need to make the game so hard it's not fun to play anymore. That's why I play with keep inventory on. Fair play, yeah. Like, I don't play with keep inventory on because I am experienced enough with the game that I'm happy with that being a penalty for dying, is having to go back and get your stuff. But I feel like there's also a few misconceptions about that process. Like, a lot of people think that you have 5 minutes to recover your equipment regardless of where you were in the world, and that's not the case. If you die and then respawn in much more distant chunks, and so you end up like with that area being unloaded, you don't have to worry about getting back there unless somebody else is there loading the chunks. You can take all the time you need, and you just have 5 minutes from when you enter the chunk where you lost your stuff, which can still be difficult. If you're underground and you don't know exactly how you got down into the cave that you died in or whatever, then that can be difficult. But yeah, honestly, there's not as much to worry about as people think there is. Okay, so this one is brown materials. I don't know if I have any cocoa beans just lying around here, but we also have a few other bits here that I might want to use. There's stuff like barrels. We'll put the signs in there as well, the spruce slabs. Yeah, we'll keep hold of those. So we've got that. We also have a bunch of rooted dirt and stuff in here, which we might need later. But we'll keep that in there for now. So we've got that taken care of. This is now all stone. This has one mossy cobble in it, which we're going to put in there. We're going to take all of these darker materials out, put those in here. I don't think I have too much blackstone going into this section of the build, but you never know. The basalt is always handy. The diorite and stuff will not be. I guess we'll put smooth stone in there as well. Sometimes it's difficult to find leads after you accidentally dropped it. Like, find a lead as in find the clues you need, or to find, like, leads as in the item. Because, yeah, those can be difficult to find, I guess. So these are a few other stone variants that we'll chuck in here. We'll put the grindstones in here as well, like, take these sticks out. I also have this squid head now that I just need to drop in here somewhere. And there's all this nether brick fence, which we no longer need since we've done the portcullis. Currently working on a hardcore world, but scared to do anything that's not in the overworld. Well, that's the nature of hardcore. You've got to be somewhat fearless. Or at least be in a position to accept that your world will be gone. Okay, so that's now empty, that's now empty. This one is a bunch more stone variants. There's no gravel in here, just andesite. What keeps me motivated to keep building big and cool bases? Honestly, having an audience is a huge part of that for me. Like, knowing that there are people who are going to come back and want to watch the videos. I need these, actually. I'm not going to throw them in. And, like, part of the reason I started making YouTube Minecraft videos to begin with, once I had the opportunity to do that, part of the reason was just that I was playing on Xbox on my own, and I wanted to share the stuff I was building with people who would know how much effort had gone in and, like, be able to give me advice and to sort of celebrate with me as I built stuff. Because at the time, you know, it was not really possible for me to play with anybody else because nobody else I knew played on Xbox. Bimo, thank you so much for gifting 5 subs. Winnie T. Ford, thank you for the 33 months. Mugenlol, thank you for the 21. I think that's us all caught up. Appreciate all the support, folks. Thank you so much for showing up today. Where did I put that box that had all of the wooden stuff in it? I mean, there's a few bits in this one. Did I put it back in here? I did. This is just getting to be a bit of a mess now. Alright, these two can be the wooden ones. One of those is grey, which is a little ridiculous. Yeah, let's move everything to this. We won't really need the coal ore. I love building, so hardcore isn't for me. Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I've tried it in the past, and after a while I just kind of go, I could be playing normal Minecraft. I could be playing Minecraft without all of this stress. I think that's the main thing for me. Watched a video where the content creator lost their hardcore world doing something kind of silly. It was going to collect with a skeleton skull sans armor. Well, like, my my philosophy when it comes to hardcore stuff and the way people die in hardcore is that there is no good way to die in Minecraft. Like, I had a whole conversation about this in my hardcore series, was basically like, there are no... Like, every death in Minecraft is avoidable. Like, you could have done something differently, you messed up and like, misplayed, you know? And that's the reality of it. And that's something you have to be willing to deal with if you're playing a hardcore world for a long period of time. You have to be willing to accept the fact that at some point you are going to screw up and that will mean the end of your world. And it's the mentality of accepting one's mistakes that you really have to attune to, and that's not really something I like doing, because more often than not I find myself in a situation where I want to be able to fix my mistakes and you just can't. Okay, they should be all be gone. This has a bunch of miscellaneous junk I can throw out. Well, not throw out, you know what I mean? Throw into the storage system. Already spent half an hour doing this instead of building, but hopefully I will thank myself for this later. In Hermitcraft, you can not die by avoiding places where Scar can fly, avoiding Gem altogether, and not standing where Doc tells you, basically. Anyone else on the server now? Nope, just me. Just me right now. Love the no good deaths in Minecraft video. Thank you. I think it's an important discussion to have because, you know, people who die in their hardcore worlds are all often gonna, like, you know, blame themselves for making mistakes, and you just think, well, that's the only way that a world could ever be lost, really, is if you make mistakes. We're gonna keep this as peripheral stuff. Signs, we've got pistons, mangrove roots, little detail things like that. Lanterns. Yeah, everything else we'll put away. Problem you have with hardcore is you spend so much time and energy to build the world just to lose it. I don't really like that. Yeah, absolutely, and that's why it's perfectly fine to not play hardcore. Which one of these is lapis again? That one. There we go. We'll put the dyes away in there, because I always look in here for stuff. I think that kind of philosophy makes the idea of hardcore less scary somehow. And I think it should. Okay, just about had enough room in my inventory for all of that, and now we can start putting back some of these. That's the end loot one, which we'll leave here. And then we've got stone types, various utilities, wood, which will die, that one which will die, that's more stone types, and that's more stone types. Then we have this one, which is all of the darker stone. Okay, so 2 light greys. Can you make light grey out of grey and white? Yes, you can. I thought you could. So that's those 2 taken care of. Put that there. And these 2 can be wooden types. How long are these streams usually? About 3 hours. It's typically what I go for. Oh, I'll need some muddy mangrove roots later as well. I'll grab those now. Do I have any cocoa beans? I do. Let's put those in there so that I will inevitably forget where they are. We've also got a couple of other wooden items that I'll just throw in here real quick. We'll keep the crafting table on us. Might actually bring some sticks, because we'll need torches. There we go. Have more mangrove roots in there. Just from the allays helping me gather mangrove. Okay. I have another ender chest in there. Very good. Stone cutter in there too. Some spare food. How's the castle going? Not too badly. We've got a lot of the main gateway done. Obviously, there's a lot more beyond this, but this is a good start. If nothing else, I want to get the facade done, and then the interior can maybe still be like kind of a blueprint, and then we'll work on that as we can. But in the meantime, I'm managing to throw together some cool blueprints in creative, so we'll try and build those in survival now, I guess. I'm going to log out, and we're going to put replay mod on. My tea is now half an hour old. Just been concentrating on doing stuff. That's apparently not there as well. Yep, that works. That works. Where was that utilities box that I had? There it is. Because we'll need the scaffolding after all. And then I might need to go and get some more tough, but we'll see what we have available to us. Did I put that in here as the next question? Yeah, I have like a stack and a half of tough. I will definitely need more than that. Let's keep that on us and keep going, though. Grab some andesite as well, because a lot of andesite is used here for highlights and stuff. And then we'll need the stone cutter for a lot of stone, stairs and slabs. Natural stone, stone brick, natural stone, stone brick. Let's see how we get on with that. So starting with the tough, we're not using easy place mode for any of this. Should also go and grab some cobblestone, I guess. We'll also need some mossy cobblestone. Which is in here. Mossy cobblestone works great with tough, always has. In my experience, ignore these. That's also tough there. Got some regular cobble there. And I think we should have some cobble slabs. Yeah, we do. Does pick block work on light matica? Yes, it does. Which is one of the more valuable bits of light matica for me. Just going to leave that there. That's another one that I keep forgetting that I've done. So from this side, we can probably scale this. Take that out, replace it all with andesite. This is just like a little bit of highlighting, but nothing major. In terms of texture, a lot of this is staying stone just for the sake of it being a lot easier to produce for right now. Okay. What's up, Refuser? Welcome in. So, first off, I'll apologize if I'm not paying as much attention to chat as I could be doing, because sometimes building like this does require a bit of concentration, like here where I'm placing the wrong blocks in the right places. Do I have any tips for texturing with different types of stone variants? My usual tips for texturing apply, which is try and avoid creating those sort of checkerboard patterns where you can, because it's too easy to fall into that trap, and the checkerboard pattern is going to end up being the most noticeable. The bed is up here. It's one of the most noticeable things you can do if stuff is just like at a constant diagonal to each other, and if it's meant to look kind of randomly or organically textured, then that's going to stick out like a sore thumb. If you're building something that's meant to look like a chessboard, then, you know, that's pretty effective, right? But in a lot of cases, that's not what you intend. Instead, think of the way a knight moves in chess. If you do, like, 2 steps forward and 1 to a diagonal, for example. Like, there's a few places around here where you'll see it, where I've done, like, basically 2 blocks and then another block at a diagonal, and that allows it to feel a bit more broken up, but it's still a pattern that you can follow, and it'll create quite a varied texture in the whatever it is that you're building. Think about where stone types would be broken up a little bit and start to use tough and mossy cobblestone together there, or regular cobblestone even. Don't be afraid to create contrast, especially if what you're looking at is designed to be viewed from a distance, because so often stuff is going to look completely different at a distance to how it looks like up close. Like up here, it feels like it's maybe like a bit more jumbled. It feels like there's this hard line of stone there next to this jumble of other blocks, and really that's meant to just look like a bunch of debris from up here where the tower is burnt out has fallen and slid down the wall and left like a residue of ash and soot and stuff, along with the debris just being down here. But then if you look at that from a distance as well, those two textures and colors start to blend together a lot more, and the overall impression this castle is meant to give is really something that's like better viewed from a distance. Put these away for the moment. We need to get out the basalt, and we need a fair amount of the raw basalt for this, along with some mud. I think it's mud, basalt, and tuff is most of what we have up there, so we can make a start with this. Might actually pull this down. So we can get a slightly better look at what we're working with here. Yeah, basically none of that is stone, so we can remove all of this. Which is good because we'll need to preserve stone for use elsewhere. So I should make sure I have a little bit of inventory space available for that. Sorry if this is flickering at any point in a distracting or headache-inducing way. Wish there was a mossy deep slate bricks block. It would be really cool. The amount of contrast you'd get between the green and the dark grey of the deep slate would be really, really good. Although it is a good reason to start trying some stuff with like vines and whatnot. Yeah, we've removed a few of these roof tiles just so that we can get in something with a different texture. Okay. So let's go around, start applying these. Oh, and that's where we'll need some of the polished basalt variants. Bit of stone goes back in. And we'll put some of the stone away in favor of the mossy stuff. Which I think is still down on the ground. We'll grab a bit more of this while we can. Salvage these blocks. And I will put the torches in here now, because otherwise I'll forget, and later we will need to light this, because there'll be creepers. Basically, this entire wall doesn't exist in the schematic because of leaving a gap there where the wall connects to it. That's unnecessary, and we need to find that mossy cobblestone again. There we go. Bring the stone cutter with me just in case. Bundle that. Have to resist building everything out of amethyst just so I can walk on it. It's a very pleasant noise. I haven't built enough with amethyst, I feel like. Is that regular stone there? I expect it is. Yeah. So there's a fun tip for you if you're ever using bundles. If they ever implement them in vanilla, you can use the crafting grid of your inventory to unpack and repack stuff in a certain order if you want it in a certain order. So this is the point at which I need more cobblestone. This is a tricky part. Because in this case, I will actually need to create some cobblestone. And make sure I have enough space in here again. There we go. Cherrywood house with a mangrove roof. Sounds like people are making plans for 120. I do hope we find out soon when 1.20 is going to arrive, because I'm quite looking forward to it. Let's be honest, that basalt needed to go vertically. Even if it's not that way in the schematic, it needs to go vertically. That's another regular cobble. Great. Can get that out of my inventory for good. That's all looking fine. There's a couple of pieces there and there. Is that regular or mossy cobble? I can't really tell. That looks mossy to me. That one's regular though. Keep this bed. Do I think they still have anything big they're adding to 120? No, probably not. Like, if anything, maybe the ability to dye decorated pots different colours. Because that's one of the most heavily requested features still, but aside from that, I don't think they'll add anything new. They've already declared that they have announced all of the major features for this wing of the update, so it seems unlikely they've got anything else to add still. At this point, it's just going to be tweaks to existing features, so... Nope. That is all basalt. It's our first mud block. Those two aren't really going to be that visible, so it doesn't matter which direction they are. This will actually be a lot easier coming through with the other tower and building it all up from scratch instead of working on the texture from the outside like this. What else do I need to bring with me? What am I missing here? A bit more cobblestone, probably. We have that now. I've got all the slabs and stairs and whatnot. Any polished basalt I might have in here, we shouldn't need it. Let's collect all of this. Yeah, they have done a lot of great work with sound design in recent updates. Not just this one, even though this one has added a lot of really good new sounds. I think in general there has been a recent movement to improve the sounds or update the sounds for even existing blocks. Like when they added the different sounds to the nether brick block palette. I was really happy about that. Oh, there's andesite stairs there, which are going to be difficult to place if I put those there first, so let's bundle that. I'm going to need my stone cutter. The overall philosophy here is that some of the things like andesite stairs are going in areas where the sun might hit and there can be a little bit of a highlight. But those don't have to be hard and fast rules. They're more like guidelines we can follow. The one behind it is usually stone or stone brick. There we go. And these walls and stuff will add in later. Basically all of these will be muds, except for 1 or 2 basalt, where we still wanted that streaky texture to be visible behind these stair formations. More of this andesite stuff. I'm still kind of in two minds about whether I want to put the glowberries in there or not. They do provide a lot of very bright green. The fact that tall grass and fern exist but not tall seagrass bugs me very much. I mean, tall seagrass exists, just not as its own item, I guess. Like, it's not a dropped item in the same way, but tall seagrass definitely exists. But really, it's just a variant on the seagrass block instead of being something in its own right. I'm pretty sure all of these are definitely mud. Which I'll need to get a touch more of. And hopefully I should have enough of for the rest of the build. Because all of these are just going to be barely visible behind the stairs anyway. So we got stairs and slabs going in here. These are basically all stone brick. So if anything, I might be able to just go around, throw all of these in. That one's kind of in the wrong place. But we'll leave it that way. Why not, really? Sort of put it in the wrong position when I was building this, probably. This is also the problem with mud being a block with a not quite 1 block tall hitbox, is that it makes it difficult to place things from a standing position on mud. Have to sort of jump and do it like that. If the player's going to be interfering. Okay, that's that. Now we've got some wood going in, but let's start with... these slabs. And try not to place too many double slabs as we go. Thank goodness for feather falling. In that case, thank goodness for elytra. Elytra made falling off of structures like this. If anything, probably even more survivable than feather falling did. As long as you don't fumble the controls. You're guaranteed to survive a fall from basically any height. Okay, that can now all go back in the stone box for the moment. We'll keep these for the other box, and this is where we have dark oak. We'll break down the stripped logs as well. And And this is going to be a 2-block high section of dark oak all the way around, so... Lack of elytra is the worst bit about starting a new world. Yeah, I've run into the occasional issue with that. Make sure we don't fortune the ender chest. Don't even get more obsidian for that. But let's put some of these walls to good use. And we'll need stone brick slabs. We'll also need polished andesite, which I already have some in here, so let's not waste a fresh stack on crafting more. And on each corner we'll do this. Do I have time for some more Survival Guide Season 2? If I did, I would have made videos already. But Survival Guide Season 2 will be back once 1.20 is out at this stage. I'm a wimp who never dares to go to the end, so I never have elytra, or at least not frequently enough to get used to it. That is always a concern. Honestly, it's worth it though for me. Like, I know some people just don't like fighting the dragon or don't have the confidence to or whatever, but some people play on peaceful, so they don't have the opportunity at all. But for me, I can't really imagine playing in a world where I don't have access to elytra long term. They're given a rough timeline for 1.20? No, but they never do. Like, it's not something I expect from Mojang at this point, because they so often have to... They work to internal deadlines, but they don't really share those deadlines with us until the update is a lot closer to release. Because it's a lot easier to let people down if you announce something and then something goes wrong during development and there are some bugs that they need to fix. Consider the other great thing about the end. Shulkers, yes. The other thing we can't live without, really. Now we're looking at more andesite stairs, which I thought I had. Maybe I put them in here. Yeah. How do you pronounce that? Koechiak, maybe? Let me know if I'm close or if I'm completely off base with that. Either way, thank you for the tier 1 sub. It looks maybe Polish in origin, but I can be completely wrong about that too. that just andesite? Yeah, okay. Give me some regular andesite. There we go. Mama Builder, thank you for the Prime sub as well. Welcome in.
That's just Prime.
Kvetchiak? Yeah, okay, cool. Hopefully that works, more or less. Admiral Memo, thank you for the raid. Welcome in. It's a work day for you today. Hey, hope you don't work too hard. But it has to be done. Oh, just got kicked. Well, let's let my replay file save. Weird. That just looked like an outage. Very minor blip. Yeah, the server was like, oh, you want to play stairs? I'm sorry. This won't do. Do we have any cracked stone brick stairs in here? Oh, we do. Oh, not cracked stone brick stairs. Those don't exist. Cracked stone brick blocks. Those exist. We got the shulk at that time. Yeah, good. Okay, so that little row around the outside is done. Can put those back in here for now. And I'll need to add that row around here. Even though it doesn't appear in the schematic, it really should be there. Let's go with stone. Stone brick. We'll put the two slabs here. Put that there. One here. Then one there. Stone brick slabs there. Stone slabs over the top. Swap that for a block of tuff. Sweet. And now for this row. This row is going to be slightly more complicated because of the variety of blocks. So we have deep slate brick slabs, cobblestone slabs, cracked stone bricks, and stone brick slabs. I don't think we have any cracked deep slate bricks, so it's just deep slate bricks. Made a few of those in slab format. We'll need some of the tiles later. I need to sleep. We'll top up on those. We'll get these. Give me back my axe. This is a double slab. Okay. We'll get that cobblestone slab taken care of in a moment. These ones around the back here are basically all going to be the darker material, because that's supposed to be the side that doesn't see the sun as much. In terms of sun angle, I'm thinking like about here, even though the sun is technically gonna cover the build for the majority of the day. Because it's always directly overhead. We need a little bit more cracked stone brick. And some cobblestone slabs, okay. Do I have a regular furnace on me? Did I put that down somewhere? We can make the cobblestone slabs at least. The cracked stone brick I think will have to come from another source. I have a feeling the furnace might still be over here. Yeah. Pretzel might have become sentient. I think it already was. Do wish you could do stuff like this slightly faster. Like if a blast furnace could do cracked stone bricks as well. Obviously, you just have to multiply the amount of furnaces you're using. Hello. Casual wolf. You know that one picture like of a cat that you sort of can't see the back legs, so it looks like this weird two-legged creature? That's what this wolf is doing right now. I think the wolf is actually also part of the schematic rather than being a live mob, because it's not moved for a few minutes there. There's our other cobblestone slab. Throw these in. Put that in. Next we have... This is where the deep slate tiles starts. And we have some basalt and some dark oak planks. Okay. So this is the point at which we need cobbled deep slate tile blocks, not slabs. We need some polished basalt. The rest of this can go back in here, except I'm trying to keep these lighter stone types separate. I reckon we'll need that many blocks sooner or later anyway. Definitely adding the torches in here as well. When I was building this in creative, 2 creepers spawned on the inside of the structure, and it's not like they blew up or anything, but it was a kind of reminder that yes, I should have some lighting in here just in case I decide to come in here later and half of my carefully detailed tower gets blown to smithereens. Just create your own little ghost animals with Lightmatica, yes. Between that and the horse that was part of the David schematic when I brought that over to Hermitcraft, an important part of the mechanism, we all know. Okay, and that's when logs start to go in, which means we need to come back to this. We need to get the spruce wood that I've put in a different box. Just gonna unbundle all of this stuff while I can. Yeah, the spruce is in here. We'll put the crafting table away. No, we won't. I need slabs in a second. We'll put the one scaffolding away. There we go. Purple up. Thanks so much for the 6 months. That is indeed what's up. No, come back. I need you. Okay, this one will have the spruce logs we need. It will have the dark oak we need. Already got some slabs here. Yeah, okay. This is where I need to start crafting stairs. Wait a minute. Stairs, there we go. Trying to keep that log texture concealed, as we often tend to. Ignore this for now. This is inverted. Yeah. This one goes out by one more. Get these. That shouldn't go out by one more. Falsehoods. Lies and slander. Would love a villager that's a woodcutter. We could probably cheat with mangrove that way. I think that's why we don't have a villager that's a woodcutter. Too many people would bypass wood collection entirely. Oh, wrong way round. Okay. Now the roof section starts, so we'll just need a ton of spruce planks, and that will carry us through to the roof, more or less being complete. The only other thing I foresee us needing to do is the corner posts. So that's where all of these spruce planks come in. Oh, I guess these are stripped logs, aren't they? Do I have... Yeah, I do. Some regular spruce logs. There we go. Four logs should make 4 wood. 4 stripped logs should make 4 stripped wood. I mean, this is 1 block at a time logic to me. Yeah, bamboo's going to be really interesting for utility wood once 120 comes out. Just the farmability of it compared to any other woods. The reason I like spruce so much is that it's versatile as a building material as well as a utility wood, so just gathering a lot of that is going to leave me with a lot of building material and utility material. So I can see people maybe not all converting to bamboo. But it'll be curious to see what people adopt. Bamboo makes a nice sound, I guess so. Also, pandas. You make a compelling argument. Only a little bit of stripped spruce going into these. Didn't want to overdo it. I've only really put it on this side, because once again it might be kind of like a highlight for the roof. Looks good from a distance. Perhaps a little too jumbled up close. Carl New King, welcome in. I see you are also a ghost. Looking for melons, unclear. Instructions unclear, found pandas instead. And they are equally round, so... The pandas could have eaten all the melons. Am I planning on ending today's stream with bingo? Only if I could get enough building done in the time, which seems unlikely at this stage. And I don't really want to go over my usual stream time of 3 hours because I have other stuff I do on Sunday evenings. And with my stream finishing at 6, I want to make sure I can get some food and stuff. But if by some miracle we get this next tower built in 40 minutes, then maybe. Don't really want that block there either. This one is also surplus to requirements. I thought that building a roof for this structure, because it's on this kind of diagonal, was going to be really difficult. And then I just built it up in 3-block sections from each of these outer sort of, I don't know, overhang bits, and it came together really well. I think the problem with these diagonal builds is I have a tendency to overcomplicate them and want to add in things like slabs and stairs to make a roof design more complex, when realistically, especially at this scale, it's going to look blocky anyway, so making the roof out of blocks actually makes it feel more coherent and on theme as a build. Even though making a roof out of full blocks can often seem like very obviously blocky. Works pretty well for me in this case. So we'll need stone brick walls. We need anvils, which I don't have a great supply of, but we have at least a couple of building materials for them. I can make 2 to start with. And from the remaining iron, we will need some bars also. We'll have the anvils going that way. That's a dark oak fence. We have spruce fences, which will do. Even though the schematic is going to tell me that some of this is wrong. Trust me, it works for me. That in there and an iron bar on top. And this should now basically be complete. We'll leave that stone brick stair because that's still a stair in the right place. Let's quickly fly around and see if there's anything missing. Yes, okay, the glowberry's there, pillars on this corner, and the strip around the back, plus those 2 anvils. Okay, gonna pause recording real fast so I can go get the anvils. think I have a couple spare over here. Actually, does the museum security door still have some? Yes, we'll take them from there, because we won't really need them. Amusingly enough, the security door would drop if we stole anything from the museum, but we're not. We're stealing the security door itself. Resume recording. Pop those on there. Grab this wall. And yeah, we'll get these bits done. Couple of dark oak slabs first. Permanently Stolwog, thank you so much for the 23 months. That's going under there. Then we have these. We have that. And then there should be another one of those around the corner here. Almost a double nerds. Okay, a little bit more there, but we'll do this corner first. And then we'll work our way around with that stair slab pattern so we can get into a rhythm with it. Why does Lightmatica go orange? Right block, wrong state. So let's say, for example, this trapdoor is attached to the bottom of the block and not the top of the block. It's still meant to lay flat like that, but Minecraft sees it as being in a different block state, which sometimes is important for schematics. In this case, it isn't, because we're working with aesthetics here, but if you consider that redstone schematics are often what people use Lightmatica for, and it can be the difference between an observer facing north, south, east, or west, or up or down, all of which is very important to the redstone output of the observer. Should probably put this away now as well, huh? Put the wooden bits away and get out the stone bits. Stone slabs. And the stairs should be in here. We might need some andesite stairs. We'll definitely need these two. We'll top up on the stone brick slabs. But I think that should be everything we need. We'll need to make sure we go and add those dark oak slabs to the front of the build as well, but we'll do that in just a second. When do I think I'll be done with this castle? No idea. Hopefully sometime within the next month, but all depends how much we can get done on stuff. And yes, done is always a difficult consideration when it comes to any Minecraft builds. Because there's always something you could add, right? There's always an extra brush stroke to be added to the canvas. Does anyone know if Ollie built anything on the Great Bridge? I don't believe he did. There are still a couple of towers there that never got claimed. But that's fine, it was never mandatory, it was just a good idea. Do I curate the music I play on stream? No, it all comes from a service called Pretzel, which provides copyright-free or royalty-free music for streamers. And the chatbot has links to the artists, but it just all comes from a chill playlist that Pretzel provides themselves. That. Do I not have a stone block? I guess I don't. Never mind. We'll ignore that then. Okay. Now let's return quickly to our dark oak slabs so we can get those added to the corners at the front. Dang it, missed that one. Remember the good old days on Twitch where you could play copyrighted music? Well, I mean, you technically still can, but these days the copyright is much more heavily enforced. But people still play copyrighted music on their streams. They more often than not have either like a license to do so, which is rare, but it happens, or they have a means to extract the soundtrack that they are playing from the VOD, and the VOD is usually the thing that is more tightly regulated because they, you know, copyright enforcement agents cannot be in all places at once, so they can't turn up to absolutely everybody's streams. There we go, which means, yeah, you end up with people looking at VODs more frequently, and VODs would be something that people can replay anyway, and so if the music is removed from that, then that's maybe, like, slightly less of an issue. Anyway, here's our tower. It may not have been quite as easy to see this as we were working on it, but I really like the way this one came together. I like the kind of ornamented archway kind of details around the outside here. I really like the way the roof came together. I think that's looking pretty good to me. We're going to build something identical on this side. It's a little bit higher up in the world. So I guess I'm actually going to stop the recording there, even though this one is now split into two. We'll start a separate recording for the other tower. We have a few more cracked stone bricks now. And this tower we're going to be building up from scratch a little bit more, so there is potential for the building process to go a little bit smoother because we're not going up and down scaffolding to replace blocks all the time. We also have a doggo. Those two zombies in there are also part of the schematic. You know what? I should just go into this and tell it to ignore entities. There we go. The doggo will still be there because it's not ignoring entities for the gateway. Anyway, we can do this part as more of a 3D print. Instead of adjusting the tower, we're building it from scratch, more or less. So let's throw these wood shulkers in the ender chest for now. And we'll work from these three, mostly with the stone to start with. Obviously we'll need some andesite as well for the highlights. Let's begin. We'll break these out so that we can use this as an entrance to this tower if we need to. Not sure what that is. Ignoring it for now. Sorry if I'm inside the schematic for some of this and it's a little disorienting. Haven't got any andesite until we're a little further up here. Like here, for example. Cow is alive. Should really start this recording, shouldn't we? Even grass is needed there? Yes, there's a few things which Lightmatica is kind of a stickler for, but maybe that's meant to be like debris on the ground or something. You're a real skeleton. Will I remain a ghost for the rest of Empires? I don't know. The fact that I am currently a ghost was not a situation under my control. Who knows? But I'm finding it quite comfortable so far, so sure, why not? At this point we will start to need the slabs and the stairs again. Any perks to being a ghost? Being able to see exactly where the arrow ended up sticking? Not those, these. And... No, wait, we have stone stairs. What am I thinking of? Stone brick stairs? Probably. We'll need them anyway. Maybe a few andesite stairs, just in case. If I know me, and I think I do, I will have wanted to put some of those in somewhere. And yeah, going through and doing this, while it may seem kind of a little bit more boring in 3D printing, is quite honestly much easier to execute on building detail like that into the build. Like placing the stairs and slabs like this. It's a lot easier to do this way. Am I going to make a tower at spawn? The towers have already been made. Am I going to decorate one? Probably. If I have time. Lately, my priority has really been on this project, though. How do you make the blueprint so clear? You mean transparent? There is a toggle in Lightmatica that allows you to change transparency, which is quite useful when it comes to this stuff, actually. Oh, there's a block of tuff there for some reason. That will need a block behind it as well. This is a slab and 2 stairs. One of those. Let's quickly grab the tuff before I change my mind. Quick question for people in chat. Who here plays Dungeons & Dragons? Because I have a character conundrum. There needs to be a better indicator for when you're about to place the wrong block. I mean, if I just turn all of the transparency up, it would be a little bit clearer what block everything was, but then it's kind of harder to see what I'm placing it against, which is also part of it. So right now, in the 8-bit community campaign, which is what I do every other Sunday. So last Sunday I was playing D&D with them. This Sunday I'm doing Minecraft. We kind of alternate Sundays. Last week, our characters defeated a boss of the current arc of this campaign we're doing called Princes of the Apocalypse. And my character is now a level 8 monk, drunken master. And I have a choice to make about leveling my character, because right now the only thing I get from leveling up is an attribute score increase. So you have 6 attributes in D&D, which are strength, dexterity, wisdom, charisma, constitution, and intelligence. Or some people say intellect, I think. And my character can either level up 2 points in ability scores, which in my case would go into constitution and wisdom. Monks base their armor class partly on wisdom and partly on dexterity, so any increase to my wisdom is good because it means potentially my armor class goes up, and in this case it would. It takes my wisdom modifier from a 3 to a 4. I get +1 to AC, which is good because my monk is quite vulnerable. He's a frail old man, and that's the other thing that the constitution score would go into. If I get +1 to constitution, I can actually start adding more hit points to my dice rolls every time I level up, and I get to add hit points to my character. Right now, I'm a level 8 character. I have like 40 hit points, which is not much for the type of combat that we're engaging in. But the point of the monk is that they are dexterous enough not to get hit. The only issue with that is if we end up fighting against, like, magic users, for example. There are some spells that if they cast, they hit you no matter what. They're going to deal damage no matter what. So I have the option to increase my ability scores, which gives me +1 to constitution and wisdom, which is better than, you know, I would have a 1 in constitution modifier, but a 4 in wisdom modifier. And those can be useful for a variety of other things, like skill checks, saving throws, that kind of thing. So there's a knock-on effect. Like, those are all really, really useful to have. On the other hand, you can, alternatively, on consulting with your DM, take a feat instead of an ability score increase. And what that means is you can basically add some sort of special ability to your character instead of increasing your ability scores. My monk is a quarterstaff specialist, and we've kind of had the flavor of that be that he has this broom, and he uses the broom handle as a weapon. And it kind of goes with like the Jackie Chan Drunken Master style of combat, where it's like you're kind of using improvised weapons a lot, and you can kind of look unassuming. Like, I blend in a lot as just like a almost janitorial figure with a broom, but then I get to like spring into action and just hit people with a broom, and it's got like iron rings built into it now, so it does a bit more damage. It's like a +3 broom at this point, which is always really funny to have a +3 broom. But now I can take a feat that makes me a polearm master, and the first half of that is virtually useless for me because all it gives me is like the opportunity to do an extra attack with the other end of the weapon, which would get me an extra D4 damage as a bonus action. But as monks, you have a ton of extra attacks that are bonus actions anyway, and you can only use a bonus action once per turn. So there's not really much point in me having it when I can make an unarmed strike that's already a D6 instead of a D4. The other half of the polearm master feat, though, allows you to get an attack of opportunity anytime something enters your reach with your weapon. So, like, just by stepping up to my character, they're opening themselves up to an attack of opportunity, which means I would immediately get to attack them. And if I hit, I'm dealing, like, 15 damage or something, right? I get a pretty decent amount of damage roll. So it's the question really boils down to, do I modify my character to give him more offensive capability under the assumption that the best defense is a good offense, or do I just improve his ability scores because that gives him more health, like a better chance that enemy attacks miss, and better chance of succeeding on constitution and wisdom saving throws, as well as skill checks that involve those stats? Do I use my reaction for anything else? I mean, I don't know how reaction works. Can you only react once per round of initiative? Because the only other thing I really use my reaction for is an ability that lets me catch projectiles. But like, if I can only do that once per round, then obviously it's circumstantial, right? Like, I think the reaction is, yeah. I suppose if you're reacting to like multiple things in a round of combat, it kind of makes sense that you'd only really be able to react to one thing. You don't have eyes in the back of your head. An attack of opportunity is a reaction. Yeah, so it's not like I could use it on everything that came at me. But then if multiple guys like get within range of my character anyway, Drunken Master monks are really like crowd control specialists, so I could like flurry of blows and hit like 3 or 4 different targets. There's a tough feat that adds 2 HP per level, so that would be 16 more HP. I mean, I could go there, but I don't know if I really want that much extra HP. I really just need like, I think ability scores is probably the way to go with it. I just like the idea of immediately getting to hit stuff with a broom. Like, his reflexes are that sharp that he can just immediately hit something. Obviously, that also means that your attack roll has to connect and stuff, right? So, like, I could roll an attack of opportunity, roll a critical fail, and then put myself in more danger. But you don't plan for critical fails to happen; they just happen, right? Would hitting with the other side of a broom still count the +3 from the weapon? No, the damage roll is always a D4. So it's like you get to roll an extra attack, and it's always like a D4 damage die. According to the letter of the rules. You know, we could obviously discuss that, but yeah, I'm thinking like I kind of like the idea of Banjo. My character is named Banjo. I kind of like the idea of him staying like kind of frail, but just getting more and more punchy. But I do see the literal wisdom in taking the ability score increase. Like, overall, it feels like ability score increases should be what you prioritize anyway, but the other feat I took last time we leveled up was, or last time we had the option to level our ability scores, I took a feat that gives me luck points I can use, which synergizes really well with a drunkard's luck trait that Drunken Masters get later on. A fun one would be Tavern Brawler adds grapple after unarmed strike. Yeah, but that's kind of all it does. I feel like the proficiency with improvised weapons should just kind of be built into Drunken Master anyway. And honestly, like, we're not frequently in a situation where we need to do the improvised weapon thing. Plus, like, as far as grappling goes, I think you have to rely on, like, strength rolls after that as, like, a strength contest to make sure that the opponent stays grappled. And my monk has strength as a dump stat, basically, because I'm relying on dexterity and wisdom for attack instead of strength, so my strength score is a -1. It's not good. The way I go about such decisions is what would be more fun for the story. See, the problem I'm running into is that both of them are good for the story. I can justify both of them from a character perspective. It's like, either Banjo has been getting older and wiser as he's traveled with these people, and that means that he's, you know, getting out and getting all of this vigorous exercise when it comes to hitting people with a broom. And that's led to him, you know, his constitution improving. He's not drinking as much because they're in dungeons half the time, so he's a little bit healthier, and as a result, he ends up with a bit better of a constitution score. Plus, you know, wisdom is, yeah, either comes with age or is the kind of thing which his experiences are paying off at this point. Whereas the Polearm Master thing is like he's just gotten really good at fighting with this broom, which is also an option, right? So I genuinely think either one makes sense for the flavor of the character. I'm just trying to work out which one would be better for our group beneficially, and I think it's probably ability scores. I think it would be better if they didn't have to spend as much time picking Banjo up off the floor when somebody finally connects. So that's probably the direction I'll go. I just really like the idea of Polearm Master, but if you're right about the reactions thing, then that does kind of make sense, really. It is probably the wiser decision to not rely on just getting one extra attack of opportunity per round of combat. I might take it next time we get an ability score increase. Because at this point I already have like plus 10 to hit. So getting extra dex or wisdom, whilst it would obviously do like a little bit of a damage increase and a little bit of an increase to hit, it's not vital. What am I missing here? I think I'm missing tough at this point. I don't seem to have any there either. I think I should probably put some of these stone variants away if I'm not using them. Just open up a bit of space here. We'll probably keep the cracked stone bricks on us. Put the stairs away. And we'll put the andesite stairs away as well. Let's see if I've got any more tough in one of these. Stone, stone, gravel, andesite. Any of this? Nope. I think I will just need to go back and get some more tough. Having a D&D game around 1:30 today. Hope you have fun. It stinks when what seems more fun for the character is bad for the team. Yeah, but then that's also like... I think it's reflective of how your character feels about the immediate group around them, whether they are improving their skills based on teamwork, or if they're improving their skills based on selfishness. Like, it works for the character one way or the other. My concern about any of Banjo's saving throw stats, can't remember if you've said. Honestly, Constitution has always been a problem for Banjo. And so adding +1 to that, like making it a positive ability score instead of a neutral, would be probably the most worthwhile thing I could do. I just really like hitting stuff with a broom. Resume recording. Hey, Lizardface Games, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. We are castle building here today on the Empire's SMP. Which means I'm meticulously following a Lightmatica schematic that I made in Creative. Get a broom feat and buy a magic cloth with con. Oh, right, get the Polar Master thing and then get a Constitution score improvement from something else. Yeah, I don't know what the options are for that right now. I'm not sure if it's the kind of thing where we can go and just, like, buy one of those sort of ability score increased tomes that are supposedly floating around out there. In D&D, do weapons have durability? Is there ever a chance of my broom breaking? There might be something like that in our critical fails roll table. Because the DM has a table that he rolls on for, like, basically a D100s. And if you hit, like, a 0, then something catastrophic happens, or a 100, depending on, like, what the effect is you're trying to roll. And if you roll, like, 100, then it's like you deal massive damage to your opponent and they suffer, like, a permanent injury or something like that, right? But the 50s and 60s are all just kind of like, you gain the upper hand and now you have advantage on attack rolls for the next turn or whatever, that kind of thing. What if the broom broke while you were sweeping? Then I'd just start, you know, I'd chain it together and use it as nunchucks instead or something. Acid and lava would also probably be bad for the broom. Probably, yes, but so far we have not ended up in a situation where anybody's weapons have been permanently destroyed, except for Minnesota Toz, and that's because he did something very stupid. But he has like 12 weapons anyway. Like, he started off with a chef's knife and a bow, and then he's been through like 5 different sets of swords. He's the ranger character in our group. Oh, that's just a different orientation. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, now I put the basalt away. That's there. Anything else I need for this? Probably not, right? Toz specializes in stupid. Oh, he does. It's very funny, though. I think he's now managed to get to a point where it's less like he's actively trying to sabotage us and more like it's just the comedic nature of the character at this stage, but it is really funny to think of his character as having had an arc, but he has. And that's really quite cool. You always need someone who specializes in stupid. Oh yeah, I agree. Toz does it very well. We're talking D&D? Yes, Triceratops. I was kind of debating between 2 approaches to leveling Banjo in the game with 8-bit D&D. Because we're level 8 now, I get an ability score increase. I was trying to decide between a Polearm Master feat and just a straight ability score increase to Con and Wiz. And I think I'm going to go with the ability score increase just because it makes me a little bit bulkier defensively. Because I'm monk, I'm fragile, you know. Rapboy Mags, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, folks. Thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome in. We're doing a bit of castle building here on the Empire's SMP. My name is Pixlriffs. If you're unfamiliar with me, check out the About section here on Twitch or go find me on YouTube. Archery shot in the most recent session, though. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, him bending the arrow wanted style around a corner, it was just chef's kiss. Castle's looking fabulous. Thank you. I'll be able to show everybody a shot of this a little later. But right now I just need to get as much of this built as I can in the time that I have on Twitch today. It is not looking like we're going to have time for Minecraft Bingo, unfortunately. I know Bruno was playing the other day. Does anybody else watch Bruno? And did he end up getting a new PB on his Bingo stream the other day? I was only able to stick around for about half an hour of that while I was making dinner, so I didn't get to see the full thing. How many layers are there? I mean, it's kind of difficult to count these in layers. High AC is all well and good until legendary action double cast Fireball. Yeah, the cool thing is my monk now has an ability which gives them like an extra defensive capability when it comes to dexterity saving throws. Like, if I succeed on a dex save, I take no damage from whatever the effect would be. Which is really useful against spells. Like, somebody cast a Chain Lightning spell on us in the most recent boss battle, in our campaign, and I was basically able to sidestep it, which is wild because that's lightning. Also, I then went to go and watch the D&D movie, and somebody casts Chain Lightning in the opening fight of that, and I'm like, oh hey, I managed to avoid that spell. What subclass is my monk? It's Drunken Master from Xanthar's Guide to Everything. Monks are great. Like, monks are probably my favorite class. Like, I built one for the campaign that I DM for, basically as like a fourth character, because there's only 3 other players. So I wanted to have like a DM PC in there who's a Kenku, like Way of the Open Hand monk. And the main thing of him being a Kenku was just so that he couldn't give the party advice, because the only thing Kenku can do is repeat phrases that they've heard. But he's also taken a vow of silence, so it sort of doubles down on, this guy's not going to tell you guys what to do. Like, I'm not going to direct the party at all. You're still making your own decisions. You watched the film, loved it? Yeah, the D&D movie is actually really good. Currently playing Blood Hunter 4 Fighter 1. I haven't really looked into Blood Hunter because it's part of the Critical Role source book, isn't it? Like the Wildermount source book. I have that. I just haven't like really looked into the class. You're a werebear. Nice. Good. Last character was a monk druid multi-class. Yeah, we already have a druid on our team. And I honestly don't know if I would want to multi-class. Like, I don't think anything really makes sense for Banjo to multi-class into. Unless we wanted, like, a wizard on our team. But I think we're still, like, carrying around a spell book that's supposed to be, like, good for a wizard if somebody wants to multi-class as a wizard, but I just don't think it makes sense for Banjo. I think he's just not got the stats for it, or the intent of character to become a wizard at his advanced years. Banjo becoming a wizard would be so weird. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of why I'm not doing it. It would be too weird. Currently playing a Tabaxi. The party also has a Kenku who's made from very funny dynamics so far, I bet. Oh, we're onto the wood layer, finally. Okay. Where can I put some of this? And then he was gone. Like he was never there. Oh, wait, hang on. We need slabs. Which means we need stone slabs and we need stone brick slabs. Probably more stone brick slabs as well, knowing me. So this is all 2-block tall dark oak planks once again. Oh, love that several of the Empire's viewers have to remind the Empire's members have to remind the viewers this server is not a builder-centric server because you're all so talented at it. I mean, we are all builders. I'd say for basically everybody. If they don't identify as a builder, they at least have enough building chops to do so. But yeah, we're just having fun with it regardless. I don't think we need to necessarily identify it as a specific type of server. Banjo like Banjo-Kazooie? Yes. I actually got the name from a Discworld book. And it wasn't necessarily meant to be a straight rip-off of the character, I just liked the idea of a character being named Banjo. But there's a character in Hogfather who's named Banjo. Yes, I would like the slabs, thank you. Love the absurd scale of the building. I mean, yeah. Everything's got to be kind of larger than life. In this castle specifically. Ironically, as somebody who is a ghost now, trying to build larger than life. That's where it came from? Yeah, kind of, like loosely speaking. I also just think Banjo is a great name for a character like the character I'm playing. So I sort of thought it fit, even without the Discworld reference, but that was sort of the only place I've heard the word Banjo used as a name for somebody. Realize I've been carrying around all this stuff I'm not using, so I should probably just chuck all of that in there as well to give myself some space. And now we need the deep slate bricks. We will need more of those as well. Which we are probably running out of at this stage because we're low on cobbled deep slates. So maybe a quick trip to get more of those. Yeah, let's pause. The ghost would know the size of life better than anyone. Yeah, maybe. I've had an opportunity to measure it at this point. Yeah, still got plenty in here, thankfully. And a few deep slate brick slabs, which I will take. We'll take the... Oh, it's cracked deep slate tiles. Interesting. I won't bother with those for now. Because they're just going to look weird in the schematic, but... At least I have some. Get together with Red Shoe and campaign for dead rights, yeah. So that's all of that stuff. We can turn this into deep slate bricks. We'll put those back in there. We have more deep slate brick slabs now. We have stone brick slabs, we have cracked stone bricks. That should be everything we need for this. There's cobblestone slabs in there as well, though. So let's make sure we have some of that on us. Okay. Resume. This section here I have kind of cheated a little bit because this is supposed to be like behind the tower. The tower is blocking the sun and that's why these materials are slightly darker, but I'm not adhering to the shading so completely because I feel like it would take a lot more blocks to really accurately portray that, so I'm just kind of hinting at it here and there. And then this side is all going to be deep slate as well. Found your first deep slate emerald ore. Congrats, I'm the mossy one. Congrats. Very excited to hear that. Do you have plans for it? Are you going to put it in a special case? Alright, now we're on to deep slate tiles. Which I have some of still. But we'll probably need a tad more. That's why I was kind of curious about the cracked deep slate tiles, but... Alright, a little bit of more basalt of the polished variety. I think I put that in the wrong box earlier. There it is. This time around, I might actually put these dark oak slabs in first, just with like some supporting blocks somewhere. Did I have them in here instead? Yeah, there are some there. Don't mind losing one of these if they happen to fall. Pick that up while I remember. This is the bit where you have one in the wrong place because of mismeasuring some of that, but that's fine, it'll go there. Hey, what's up, Evelyn? Welcome in. Yeah, let's drop down and get those. I think I dropped more than half of them, so I'll grab them where I can. And this is spruce layers. So we'll put these away for the moment. And for this we need dark oak stairs and spruce logs. Which I should have enough of, but can always go and grab more if we need to. I'll also need some dark oak planks. Should really be going this way around, because that way I get to build these the right way around. highly suggest using Tweakeroo for awkward block positions. What would that do? Because Lightmatica has this easy placement mode that allows me to just right-click whatever way I'm facing and it kind of snaps to the schematic, and I don't like using that. Because, technically speaking, it allows you to place blocks in ways you shouldn't be able to in survival, that you can't even in creative in some cases. So, like, being able to place blocks on thin air like that, I really would prefer not to do. Loco for Loki, welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. Happy Sunday. We're here on the Empire's SMP working on a little bit of castle building. Taking it steady here, but enjoying the ride. And Echo Glitch, welcome in as well. It's your first time in the chat. Good to see you. If you're a long-time lurker, then that's obviously welcome. Prefer the Tweakeroo way of placing blocks in unconventional ways because you still need to tell the game what you want it to do. I'm not familiar with the Tweakeroo way then. Let's see. Stone bricks can go in here because that's the roof corners. And that gives us something to start placing planks against. Ignore that corner there saying it's wrong because the schematic is wrong and I'm right. Let's take that away. And what's next? Spruce planks, of course. Spruce planks and even some spruce logs. Of which I have none left, because I just turned them all into planks. Let me quickly check my ender chest, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, okay. Another quick pause then. But you have all these spruce trees around here, Pix, yeah. The custom trees. Bruno got a sub 40 the other day. Nice. I didn't see if anybody mentioned that earlier, so sorry if I missed that one, but congrats, Bruno. That's awesome. Archeo plays, if you're still here, thank you for the DM. I just spotted that and we'll give that a proper read after I'm done with the build. What's my favourite empire, not including my own? I really can't choose because everyone's done such a spectacular job of their empires this season. Like, you've got Fwip building an entire empire underground, which, considering that the most successful YouTube thumbnails are ones that include, like, green grass and open sky when it comes to playing Minecraft. Like, that's a proven thing, which is still kind of wild to me, because it means that any thumbnails that you have, like, screenshots of the nether or the end just don't end up being as effective. They're just not as appealing to people. But he spent his entire season underground building. That's incredibly dedicated as far as YouTube content goes. I think Sausage has obviously done incredibly. Joel's done incredibly. Like, they've both had such strong themes, and they're both such dedicated builders that theirs always looks spectacular. Lizzie's whole vibe is just great too. Like, everyone's just been doing so well. My recording, I mean, my streams are automatically recorded because that's just how streams work, but I am recording this for replay mod, and I did need to resume that, so thank you for the reminder. Sort of figured out mid-sentence that that's what you meant. It doesn't really matter if it's just like sections of the roof like this. When it comes to editing together time lapses, it's pretty easy to conceal occasional mistakes like that by just like making a cut where you paused and resumed the recording. So like cut to a different angle of the replay. And lately, just for simplicity's sake, I've only really been recording replays as like one-shot camera takes, but I expect there will be a couple of places there that I can just quickly make a cut.
Well, that's just prime.
Okay, this is rain and not thunderstorm, so that's fine by me. I probably have some stone brick walls somewhere, but these are just easier for the moment. And I wonder where I can get some anvils. I thought I brought enough spruce planks for this. Apparently, I just needed a ton more. Wonder if anyone in future will do an empire that's nether or deep dark related. Well, Flip's thing is... Oh, wow, there's a fox in my front garden. See if I can get a picture of this real quick. Is having the hardest time focusing. Here you go, hang on. Let's go to this screen briefly. I'll try and adjust the focus so you guys can see this. Casually on my front lawn. It's wet outside as well. Yeah. Is that better? Am I blurry? Where am I in focus? Where's my focal plane? There we are. About there? That look alright? Yeah, I used to take pictures all the time with the DSLR that I have of all the foxes in our back garden, but I mean, aside from the one I use for my stream camera, but the body of that DSLR just packed up one day. I'm pretty sure I didn't like leave it on and just overload it, but I might have done something that was causing issues. Don't they bite foxes? No, they run away before they bite you. Maybe if they were cornered or something, but... Also, we have very few cases of, like, rabies and stuff in the UK, so that wouldn't be a concern if you were bitten. You'd probably have some, like, nasty bacteria in their mouths or whatever, kind of like when a cat bites you. When a cat bites you, get it checked out. Because cats' mouths are full of all kinds of nasty bacteria, and you can get a very nasty infection if you don't get it treated. But I expect foxes are roughly the same. They only bite if you really bother them and they can't get away. Yeah, like I said, if they feel like they're cornered and threatened and stuff, then maybe they'd get violent, but for the most part, they're too agile and they just, like, run away as soon as you go near them anyway. I'm really not making enough spruce planks here. There we go. Even though some of these are just full-on logs anyway. Playing some Elden Ring right now, re-exploring Stormvale. Nice. I was playing a little bit more single-player last night. I'm in Lanedale right now, and I just found an area that I had never been to in my original playthrough, and in my subsequent playthroughs I hadn't got as far as Lanedale. So yeah, I'm quite excited. I found the I guess Fortified Manor is what it's called, the location that's basically the Round Table Hold, and I'm like, wow, this is surreal. There's tons of cool items in there as well. I was nearly ready to start Elden Ring, and then each night I awoke in a feverish sweat to the sound of my name being whispered, and before long I was sucked back into playing No Man's Sky. That's fair. The Hermits were playing No Man's Sky the other day, weren't they? They had like a sponsored stream on it, I guess. Yeah, there was a few of them. It was, I think, Azuma, Scar, and a couple of the others were all playing. I know Impulse and Tango have done No Man's Sky streams before. X, Scar, Ren, False, and Joe. Nice. Oh yeah, I remember seeing Joe's thumbnail on YouTube, because he streams to both platforms. I was, yeah, I wasn't aware that you could do 5-player No Man's Sky games. Unless it was just 4-player and they had some people like hopping in and out, but... So Scar had his like NASA uniform on and stuff. Joe Man's Sky. You got distracted by Jem playing Stardew? Fair enough. Love that game. There's going to be new stuff for it soon, apparently, which is quite exciting. It's not going to be as much as it was in the last update, but then the last update was the entire island, so... I've been watching Ray Narvaez Jr. and his wife play through Stardew Expanded. And I've never really looked into Stardew Expanded before, and I'm like, this actually has like a ton of stuff in it. Like, it seems like quite a, I don't know, a faithful expansion to the core Stardew game. Probably not something I'd want to play myself, but kind of neat to take a cursory glance at. Anyway, quick check on this, just to make sure everything's in place where it should be, aside from the glowberry vines, which I'm still not sure about. That's just a piece of basalt that's at the wrong angle. There's maybe one piece of andesite down there that is missing, but that's pretty much where that needs to be. Yeah, we can remove that placement. Those are both looking great. We need a wall section there, of course. And so now it's really just stuff in the gatehouse. I hadn't resumed that recording anyway, so it's just getting stopped there. Do we have any information about what Haunted Chocolatier is meant to be? I assume something similar to Stardew, yeah, but with just like slightly different mechanics. Or different theme. Is the second tower close to done? It is done. We have... Let's take a quick look at this from further back. Yeah, that's how things are looking so far. Which I think is quite nice. I really like these towers. They look like a... They're kind of deceptively shaped. Like, they are just rectangles, but something about, like, viewing them from different angles, they can look like different... They look a bit more rounded, and then, like, that side sort of stretches out. So for the gatehouse section, we need a bit more stone, I guess. There's dirt and grass and stuff that we're just going to take out here, so that's less of an issue. Yeah, this small gate is what we're putting in. I may not do this part for the time-lapse, because it's all just going to be like fiddly work inside of there. So we might just take it easy for this part. I'm going to disconnect briefly so that we can make sure that our replays save. Is the main gate a face? No, everything symmetrical looks like a face, though. It's one of those, like, ink blot test kind of things, where it's like, this could look like a face even if it isn't one. Between the Great Bridge and the Mega Build, the Great Bridge and this, you've gone Mega Build on this season. Yeah, something like that. Big Tasty, if I missed that one earlier, thank you for the 8 months of Prime. When you're ready. Thank you. I think I forgot to uncheck the replay thing. I did. Alright, we'll just stop the recording there. So there's a fair bit of just running back and forth with materials here. And this is stuff that is going to be inside. It's not going to be as entertaining to look at as a time-lapse, so we're just going to carve out all of this stuff quickly now. And this all needs to go. This is probably the more important part here. So I've tried to do something that vaguely resembles the stockade of guards that you find waiting for you in Stormvale. Which means having a bunch of, like, fortified positions for the guards to kind of stand behind and whatnot. Yeah, like areas for crossbowmen to stand, yeah. Oh, and that's all just dirt. Okay, that's That's fine. All of those blocks should be there. Maribel Jade, thank you for the 44 months. Jen, thank you for the raid. And Prideceratops, thank you for gifting 6 subs to the community. Very, very generous of you. Folks in the chat, of course, as always, if you've been gifted a sub in this channel, please make sure you thank the very generous sub gifters. Oh, it's a birthday raid from Jen. Happy birthday, Jen. Hope you had a great stream. Thanks for sending your community over right after your birthday stream. That's very kind of you. Hope you got something else fun planned for the rest of your day. Dream96, thanks so much for the 27 months. Oh, hang on. I have a shulker for this stuff, don't I? Yeah, let's put the dirt stuff in there. We can get out some of the coarse dirts. Some andesite in here, too. Celebrating level up on Slackville. It surprised me with lots of things, so I'm a bit overwhelmed. Oh, well. Overwhelmed in a good way, I hope. Always nice to celebrate your birthday with folks, so... I think this is all still just regular dirt that hasn't reverted into grass yet, so I'm going to ignore that for the minute. What is that? Oh, that's rooted dirt. Okay, that makes sense. What are the different colors of light matter can mean? Blue means put a block there. Red means it's the wrong block. The pink one like that means that this block isn't in the schematic, but it's replacing an air block, so it's just like surplus to requirements. And the orange one means it's the right block, but in the wrong block state, so the fence isn't connected properly, the observer is the wrong way round, whatever, that kind of thing. Like it's in the right block space, but it is the wrong way round for the way the schematic has it. And the orange in this case means the zombie is on fire. That zombie was also immune to knockback. Get out of here with your Schoenberg nonsense. An amazingly well-planned path. Thank you. I do all right. I have my moments. This is where we needed those muddy mangrove roots that I took from the chest at the beginning of the stream. There's also a little bit of dripstone in here, which I will have to dig out from some chest somewhere. All of this is slabs. Got an entrance into this tower here. And finally, this gate is not going to be connected to all of the dirt down here. I considered having some sort of like landslide having happened, but I think it's just better if we try and keep this all like a vaguely accessible castle. There we go. It says that torch is not there. I disagree. I say that torch is very there. Don't worry about the zombie noises. They're in my game, not yours. Alright. Let's throw out some of these blocks while we still can. Did I put the rooted mangrove blocks in here? I did. Muddy mangrove roots, that's the word. That rooted mangrove. I really like it for stuff like this because it kind of looks like this has been pushed back. And you'll see more of what that actually is a little later, but you can kind of imply like drag marks with muddy mangrove roots in a way that I find quite satisfying. Then around here there's going to be some actual mud. And that's a little bit more coarse dirt there, of course. Coarse dirt, of course. Again, that's right block, wrong orientation. There we go. Aldebar, good to see you. Welcome in. How's everyone doing? Hello, hello. Oh, that sign's in the schematic. It's not actually there. Hi, folks. Good to see you all. Welcome into the stream. My name is Pixlriffs. Right now I'm on the Empire's SMP working on my castle build. What are you folks up to on Aldebar's stream? Get any good building done? Ginger is also raiding. If ever you wonder how somebody can be in two places at once, just ask Twitch mods. Hello? There we go, that's that taken care of. Just nip that one in the bud, so to speak. Okay, so that was... What exactly? Not sure. Maybe that was a stone slab that needed to be a stone brick slab. That's probably what it was. The deal with these doors over here, actually, is that I want them to open onto effectively like a room full of rubble. Where this area has, like, caved in. Or, like, you know, some debris has fallen in front of the door. And so if you open those doors, you can't go anywhere. But if you open these doors, it lets you into the tower. Because this tower is built on a hill. And it's a little easier. A little easier to just dispose of all of the digging and everything by making that one impossible to get into. That's packed mud in there, which we'll need to go and get. Like the Winchester Mystery House, having doors that lead to nowhere? Yeah, basically. The Winchester Mystery Castle. Except Winchester in this case is the dodo. Just making sure that that in there is somewhat mob-proof. Oh, that's why that's not a torch, because it's a wall. This is the kind of thing that may benefit me to build from the ground up, just so I don't have too much schematic stuff to worry about. Although it does look kind of hilarious seeing half a door. That's packed mud. That's more stone brick slabs. Oh, I do have them there. Just trying to look for them in there, and it's like needle in a haystack territory. Let's put these in here. Do we have any more cobble slabs? We do. Wonderful. Do I think the tragedy of how the capital was destroyed will ever get revealed? Not really. And I mean, not in a way that I want to be like definitive or anything. Like I'm much happier with people sort of piecing things together for themselves. Like with this series largely being inspired for like my build style in this series largely being inspired by Elden Ring, so is my approach to storytelling, in that I kind of want players to be able to piece it together for themselves, or if not players, then, you know. It says cobblestone slab, and I put a cobblestone block there, and it's like wrong, and I'm like, well, wrong within certain parameters. Capital Law, man, wasn't that messed up anyway, dodos? Yep. That tends to be how I operate. Alright folks, we're about hitting the time I planned to wrap this stream up, and so whilst a lot of this is still left to be done, it is just kind of fiddly, menial stuff that I think I would rather do off camera at this point. But just to recap what we have done on this stream so far, let me take the the ghost Pixlriffs out to show you the full extent of the castle. We'll switch off this, and just for fun, just for a little bit of fun, we'll put some fancy shaders on it as well. There we go. Now you're talking. Now the castle appears to be taking shape. I think that'll make a good screenshot. Yeah. So that's our front entrance, more or less. Obviously, we still have a little bit of work to do over here on this left-hand side, but that's looking pretty fancy, I think. All right, folks, we will leave it there, and we're going to go and raid somebody else who's streaming Minecraft here on Twitch. Thank you so much for hanging out today. I'll be back on Tuesday with another stream for you folks. In the meantime, the Spawn Chunks podcast is recording tomorrow. Keep a lookout for that on your podcast feeds or at thespawnchunks.com. Usually publishes around this time, but potentially a little later. Let's go raid the Hot Dish. Dish doesn't normally stream at the same time I am, so looks like she's streaming with Boz and then finishing working on a Palace draft that she's been working on for a little while. Word of warning that Dish's community, while a very friendly family, is not always family friendly. There is occasional adult language. If she's on with Boz, Boz is family friendly, so she'll probably be keeping it kind of PG, but bear that in mind. Either way, Dish is one of my good friends, one of my collaborators on the D&D game I was talking about earlier, so always lovely to send a raid her way. You can use your Pixel Hype emotes and the hashtag PixelRaid to show some love. I'll be back with you guys on Tuesday for a Choppin' Tuesday stream where we'll probably just be building more of the castle because I need to do a lot of building. But thanks so much for being here. My name's Pixlriffs. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.